2017 rainfall was 30% of the long-term average. And it is the worst rainfall that we've had in more than 100 years.
The uncertainty is the biggest problem.
It all points out into a drier future.
It's in the lap of our dear Lord, I'm afraid.
Cape Town is located in a so-called winter rainfall region of southern Africa. The seasons are inverted. We have a rainy season during period of April to August. So that 3-year total rainfall has not been encountered in Cape Town before.
What we did is we said that when the dam levels got below a certain level, and that cannot be when the dams are completely empty, that we would then have to implement these much tougher restrictions, which essentially would be to close off supply from the network, and people would have to collect water at collection points.
We are in Newlands. It's a well that is open to public, where we can come in, and get some drinking water.
The reason that most of us come here is because we were told that there isn't a lot of water in the dams with the greater supply of water, so we come here to take pressure off the water supply.
I think the campaign was necessary because if it wasn't for the campaign, for instance, a lot of us wouldn't probably, start realizing how it was important to start saving water.
I use the water from the council to do the washing and cooking and household chores. Then my rates go up. At the moment, I'm paying almost 1,400 rand per month. So if I use more, then it means that it's going to go up because we're being charged for whatever water that we're using.
With the water bill, obviously the price of water has gone up. So I live in a house, I have a garden and all that, although we can't water garden anymore, but my water bill used to be between 800 to 1,200. The price itself doubled, so consumption became an issue.
I think that there is a contribution of climate change to that event, but the primary force behind that event is just the climate variability. From the sort of social unrest point of view, that's a very drastic, very dangerous, I would say, situation, particularly in South Africa, where there is lots of social friction all the time.
I'm staying alone in my house, but my water is 40,000 rand. I don't have a swimming pool. I don't wash my car daily. I don't do my washing at home either. I'm hardly at home. So the billing system is crap. I feel my water went to the agriculture sector. They must cough up money to pay it, not me.
Post-1994, we came into a situation in South Africa where we had inherited these things called sunset clauses. And basically it allowed white farmers control and access to the majority of the water resources in South Africa. We're still, South African agriculture usurps about 60% of the water in South Africa. The debate is so that, in terms of the contribution of agriculture to the actual GDP, it's quite low, it's about 3%.
We've been cut to very close to 70% of what we would get in a normal year. And yeah, so it's been quite dramatic. But we do have dams or reservoirs, so we try if possible to save water and carry it from one year to the next.
This dam here is somewhat unique in that it is privately funded. It was funded by about 140 to 100, probably 140 farmers then, some 40 years ago, to put up this dam wall, which they then extended even, to probably even twice, nearly twice, the size that was absolutely essential. Because they thought, you know, you never know, one day we may need it. And we calculated that we could facilitate the transfer of an additional 10 billion litres into the Cape Town water system. In return for that, we believe we need only cut our farmers by 10%, not the 50. That 10 billion litres of water was about 20 days worth of water.
Some of the negative things around the campaign was the misappropriation, I would say, of information, and also the lack of a solid kind of message that in terms of what government was saying, because it was very disjointed. One day it was this, the next day it was that. I'll give you, for example, the example was pushing the day zero date further and further back, and then there was no day zero.
I think that what I would do differently is that we would have implemented tougher restrictions much sooner. So instead of working towards when there would be a day zero, we would have rather said, what do we have to do to avoid day zero? That was the problem. And I think that's the key message that, that cities around the world need to get, is that when the change happens, it can happen very quickly, and it can happen very severely.
It was a tough time. It was a difficult time for everyone, for the public and for the government and for the authorities. But I think, you know, at the end, we've learned our lessons, and we've, you know, a little bit of humility with respect to nature, to the natural systems, the climate systems. It's not a bad thing to include into our daily lives, and that's what we got.
Kodwa ngiyakholwa kudala